So, Shannon, is Dame all-time clutch?
He is. He's the greatest clutch player of this generation. Since he came into the league, Skip, in 2012, he has 33 go-ahead in the final 5 minutes. 33 of those shots in playoffs, in regular season and overtime. Skip, I mean, he's spectacular. I mean, he's unbelievable. We saw what he did. He and Michael Jordan. And Skip, you told me this. Anytime you're on a list with Michael Jordan, or anytime you're on a list with a historically great player, be it Michael, Magic, Wilt, Kareem, Larry, LeBron, Jordan, you should feel real feel real good. Michael Jordan and Dame Lillard are the only two guys to end 2 playoff series on game-winning shots. He's done that. We've seen him in big moments time and time again. Skip, against Chicago, they were down by 5 with 12 seconds to left. And Dame hit 2 threes and they win the ball game. And now he's got to be in the MVP conversation because he's got them, if I'm not mistaken, probably like the 4th or the 5th seed. 4th seed, maybe, Skip. So he's going to have to get 30, 7, and 5. That's what he's giving you. And his team is rising. They're doing this with no CJ and no Nurk. So for me, Skip, he's all-time clutch. I've seen enough. Last night, scored or assisted 21 of the 23 Blazers points at the end of the game at 7:30. 14 points, 3 assists. Skip, in clutch situations this year, the final 5 minutes, the NBA defines clutch, the game within 5, the final 5 minutes. He leads the NBA in scoring. He's shooting 63% from the field, 59% from the three-point line, and your favorite, he's 100% from the free throw line. Skip, he's clutch. I've seen enough, and I've been seeing enough. Skip, I didn't always follow Dame Lillard because he's way up there in the Pacific Northwest. But I remember one night, I think the Cavaliers played him early in LeBron's career going back there. And they was asking him about, and people he wasn't getting the credit that he deserved. He had missed a couple of All-Star games. And LeBron James said, give me Dame Lillard. Y'all don't think he's special? Let me have it. And so I was like, hold on. I pay attention when guys start talking about other guys, Skip. Okay, this guy said he's good. Let me pay him a look. Skip, he the real deal. He legit. He legit.
I will give you real deal legit during the regular season. I will give you all-time clutch during the regular season. I will not give you postseason because I haven't seen nearly enough in the postseason. I will give you, he's hit 2 walk-offs in the postseason. That's 3 total for his career because the one against Zach LaVine in the Bulls the other day, he hit 2, actually. I mean, I almost give him credit for 2 walk-offs because he hit 2 in the last 5 seconds. But one was a buzzer beat. I'm talking about buzzer beaters. He had one way back in 2014 that beat the Rockets in a Game 6. It was a closeout. Yeah, he hit a 3. And then we all remember the one he hit against Russell Westbrook.
That was PG.
Yeah, and PG.
Yeah,
it was over PG, but it was about Russell Westbrook, right?
Yeah.
And it was
bye-bye.
Bye-bye, right? Dame time. This.
You know what it is, Skip.
Okay. There have been way too many flameouts on this resume for me to say all-time clutch when it matters the most in the postseason, because I'm going to ask anybody who loves Dame to go back and check me on these because they're glaring in my eyes in the postseason. If we go back just to the 2018, it's a Western Conference first round, they got swept by the Pelicans. Now, that was Anthony Davis, but they were better than the Pelicans. They were seeded higher. They should have won this series, at least a game in this series. They got swept lost all 4 games. In the first game, they lost by 2 at home, and he missed a little runner in the lane. It was a 4-footer with 15 seconds left for the lead that cost him that game. Then in game 2, it's another game at home. You just have to win it. And he goes from the 7:31 mark all the way down to 38 seconds left when they're finally hopelessly behind, and he didn't score a point in all that sort of crunch clutch time. Then they just got wiped out in the next 2 games, and it was pathetic. For that whole series, he averaged 19, only 5 assists with 4 turnovers a game, and he shot from the field, he shot 35%. That's horrible.
But Skip, I think the thing is what you're doing is that because he doesn't come up in every clutch situation, no one has, but more times than not, we've seen him come up big than not. It's like Brady. Brady doesn't always come up in clutch situations, but more times than not,
okay, but
he does.
He had won his first 6 Super Bowls with 6 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter overtime.
If you say,
when you say he doesn't always, well, that's pretty much always.
But I'm saying, Skip, in the regular season, Brady has lost games. But I'm saying, if you want to say Dame, maybe that's the only time that he was a favorite. But for the most part, Dame is winning these playoff series as a lower seed. Mm-hmm. He's sending teams home when he's the best player, and they have better players on the other team.
Okay, then let's go to the key series. This is the one where he was the biggest disappointment to me in his career, and that's when there's no KD for the Warriors. This is the Western Conference Finals in 2019. You got a shot here. You can put your stamp on it. You can go big Dame time because it's just you and CJ versus Steph and Clay. Basically, you should take these games over, at least one of them, and they lost all four. Here's what he shot. 31% from the field. 31%. This is in the fourth quarter overtime. Mm-hmm. 8 of 26. He shot 29% from three in the fourth quarter overtime. He was a minus 30 in fourth quarter overtime. And in game two, it was tied after three quarters. In the fourth quarter, he went 1 of 5, and he went the final 7:42 of a close game without scoring a point. It's just not, that's not Dame
think about
time.
what you just said. What you just asked of Dame Lillard. You said, Dame Lillard, you should have beaten, even without KD, you should have beaten the greatest backcourt shooting team, the greatest backcourt ever. You should have beat them, Dame Lillard.
Yeah,
Steph Curry.
Wait, he's all-time clutch.
Skip. He's still going against Steph. Because, see, you can't diminish, Skip. You can't diminish if the guy didn't come through in a few occasions. Yep. He's going against Steph. You make it seem like he's going against two just common guys. Steph Curry is historically great. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Klay Thompson is going to the Hall of Fame. He lost to a better backcourt. Remember, this is the same team without KD that went 67-15 and 73-9. So even though
is he or isn't he that guy?
Yes, he's that guy. He's absolutely that guy.
So in that series, they lose all four, but they go home to Portland. They're down 2-0, but you got a shot because you're down 3 points after three quarters. And go look at his numbers in the fourth quarter. He just did next to nothing, and they lost by 11.
As great as Steph Curry is, Steph Curry doesn't have the clutch numbers as Dame Lillard.
Totally agree. You got me on that.
Is he not great?
That's my point here. I thought Dame would outshine him in clutch time. We went to game 4. At least you could win one game at home. Go look at what happened. At the end of regulation, he's got a little 5-foot runner in the lane off the glass and missed it to win the game. And at the end of overtime, he missed a good look, wide open, not wide open, but a good look three to win the game. He had 2 last-second shots.
Even in situations like this, Skip, the ball is not going to always go in. But it doesn't diminish whether or not he's clutch. Look at the clutch stats since he came into the league and compare him to everybody else that you view.
Regular season, you got me. I give you. Not post.
Skip.
Not post.
Okay, Skip. Okay, the difference is KD has made 2 of those big shots, but he's made them in the finals. I remember in Game 5, Game 6, and Game 7, KD came up small the previous year against Golden State. Okay. We don't hold that against him.
But I'm just talking about Damian Lillard.
But Skip, but I'm saying, Skip, so you disregard everything, all the other flaws that a person may have, but you hold Dame. Well, he didn't come through in this one. But did he come through against the Houston Rockets? Did he come through against OKC?
Yeah. Again, 2014 and back in whatever the other one was, 2019. Okay, so then we get your Lakers last year in the bubble.
Yes.
First round. Here we go. I got to see it.
With the A seed, you supposed to beat the 1 seed?
Okay, Game 3. It's 1-1. This is it. You're on. Portland up by 4 at halftime. Okay, show me Dame time. Show me Dame time. Second half, he goes 2 of 9 and 1 of 5 from 3, and it's a wipeout.
Skip.
You lose by 8.
Skip.
That's not good enough. I'm waiting.
Skip.
I'm waiting. My watch is running.
Skip.
I'm waiting.
You make it seem like you're talking about he was up at 4 at halftime. You make it seem like he was up 4 with 4 seconds left.
Okay, I'm just telling you, I don't see it.
Skip, we see teams up 21. Wasn't somebody just up 21 at the half?
Yeah.
The Phoenix Suns were just up on Brooklyn, 21 at the half.
Talking about Damian Lillard.
Skip. Okay. How about we do this? Look at the clutch numbers, because that's what you show me. You show me clutch numbers, and you say LeBron isn't clutch because this, and this. I got clutch numbers. Nobody has better clutch numbers than Damian Lillard, but yet you say he isn't clutch.
In the regular season, I gave you regular season. It's like the old Peyton Manning syndrome. Show me post. Peyton finally showed you some post.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
And what happened last August the 8th in the bubble? The end of the regular season played out. almost like playoff games, because it was a playoff game for Portland because they're trying to get in the playoffs, right?
Yes.
And what happened at the end of the game against the Clippers? Paul George played only 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Patrick Beverley didn't play. Kawhi didn't play.
Okay.
They're sitting on the bench watching, and it comes down to the end, and with a few seconds left, Dame goes to the free throw line and clanks both free throws. And then he has a three to win the game at the buzzer, and he missed it.
Skip.
And what are they doing on the bench? They are clowning Damian Lillard. Dame time?
The Skip.
Really?
Skip.
Patrick Beverley, Paul George are clowning him. If they thought he was that guy, if it was Michael Jordan, do you think anybody ever clowned Jordan? No, nobody would. It shows you that players on other teams are like, yeah, I don't know about this Dame.
And I guarantee you players on the other team would love to play with Dame. Skip. Clutch time doesn't mean that you come through every single time. Stop with this notion that every time in a clutch situation, Kobe, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, Larry Bird came through. Stop doing that because
do you see
they
a
didn't.
pattern of clutchness in the postseason? I don't.
Skip. The guy has been clutch. He's only one of two men that have ended series on walk-off shots. Is that not clutch? Is it clutch?
Well, he had two moments that I gave it to. The first two things I said.
Skip.
But I'll show you a whole series where he was a disaster.
Skip, I can go back and show you series where every great player has struggled. Larry Bird's first final, you do realize he had 2 games in which he scored 8 points. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Larry Bird had 2 games in an NBA Finals in which he scored 8 points. Cornbread Maxwell, Cedric Cornbread Maxwell, was the Finals MVP in 1981 against the Houston Rockets. I can go back and show you series of
now that
every
you've
great
gone
player.
to the top, let's go to Michael Jordan. Go find me a series where he flamed out. Go find me one where he just didn't show up.
Skip.
Go find one. You can't.
I watched him, the game that he had 63. What did he do in the game 3 closeout? He had 19. He wasn't a leading scorer. John Paxson was. That happened. So I mean, you got to win.
Out of which series?
The first one when he went to 8, when he had 63. Go look at the game 3.
You mean the Boston series?
The Boston series.
Okay, well, they got swept.
Yes. Well, you can't win one game. He clutch. He Michael Jordan. You got to win one game.
You mean the guy that Larry Bird said, that's God disguised as Michael Jordan?
I don't know what it was disguised as. But I know John Paxson scored the most points in that game. I just want to know. So, Skip, we can go back and nitpick, and all great players have had a series in which they've struggled. Go back and look it up. All the greats.
Did any rivals ever sit on the bench doing this to Larry Bird? Like, is it Bird time or not? Did they clown Larry Bird ever? Nobody did, because nobody would have ever thought about clowning.
Let me ask you a question. Did people clown Tom Brady when he did this?
Well, you
They
did.
never did that to Joe Montana.
You
They
did.
never did that to Joe Montana.
And you got clowned back.
They're like, whoa.
You got put right in your place.
Okay, and guess what? He put the Clippers right back at their place. He put people right back at their place.
Well, did he?
Now,
Not in the playoffs.
Skip, you know Dame Clutch. Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that, man, like that.
I don't know.
Don't do that, Skip.
Listen, at the highest level, I don't know if he's made of that stuff.
He made of that, right? He made of that
I
stuff.
don't know.
I tell you what.
I have my doubts.
I don't.
Okay, well,
You
guess.
just told me he more clutch than Steph the other day.
Who?
Dame.
He's more clutch regularly in both. Listen, if we want to do this argument about Steph Curry, I can show you the numbers.
Did you see Steph last night? He was 5 of 23, doing terrible.
and then-
But guess when the rubber needed to meet the road, what happened, Skip? Blue coop.
And the date was what, and the opponent was who?
Skip.
Okay,
See, hold on,
okay,
Skip.
show me.
Skip, let me ask you a question.
Okay, go look at Steph's numbers in games 5, 6, and 7 against your Cavaliers.
Skip, why
He was horrible.
Skip, the thing that you criticize these young players for today, and this is what I have a problem with a lot of the old heads. You praise Michael, you praise Magic, and you praise Larry for finding ways to get themselves to go play on a meaningless Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday when it wasn't the playoffs and it was the dog days.
Okay, but all those guys, when it was time, as Magic called it, winning time, he won.
Skip.
He was clutch.
Skip, I'm not taking anything away from Magic. Magic is Magic. Bird is Bird.
Magic hit one of the greatest clutch shots I've ever seen.
Yeah, that
baby hook.
Yes.
I was sitting in the front row. I just was like, what?
Yes.
He did that
He did
then?
87. Skip, I watched it. I was in Savannah State. I watched it. He threw the baby hook.
He threw the baby hook. He said, I'll be Kareem for a moment. Right?
And he was looking to pass it. They pinned him in the corner, and he threw it over everybody.
To win the game.
Yes.
At the Garden.
Yes. Well, Bird had a great look at a three, and it rimmed out.
And it rimmed out.
And he got mad. He said, I can't believe y'all let me have that shot.
And when it left Larry Bird's hand, I thought, that's good.
Everybody thought it was good when he left his hand.
Yep.
You know what I'm predicting here? Dame is going to remember those words from you, Skip. Much
Oh,
like Tom
good.
Brady
Yeah,
remembered
I need a
words
hype
from
video
Shannon
at the end of the
Sharpe.
year when Dame wins the championship.
He is going to
I need to be
remember
called out by
the
Damian Lillard
criticism.
when he wins it all.
No, we ain't doing no hype
He's
video.
fourth
We're
in
not
the
doing no
West.
hype
He's
video.
doing it without CJ right now, too. Keep that in mind.
And Nurk.
Keep that in mind. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.